Hi everyone, James Clyne from Clyne Partners. Earlier this week, the federal budget was released by the Treasurer of Josh Frydenberg, and we've got together 10 key points that we think could summarise the budget and how it affects you and your business. I think point number one is probably the most obvious one, is the tax rate cuts to the marginal tax rates for individuals. This is a plan that was meant to be put forward for next year, but they've brought it forward. In a nutshell, if you're at an average earner in this country, around $100,000 a year, is going to get about a $50 a week tax break, which is great for everyone. That's going to be effective from the 1st of July. So what will happen now is that we'll roll out the legislation after the budget's passed, and then payroll systems will be updated, and you'll see the effect of these tax cuts most likely in the middle of November. The next point we'd like to make, number two, is the asset write-off. This is just an advancement of a pre-existing legislation where business assets, equipment, office fit-outs and the likes can be instantaneously written off for tax purposes. Previously, you would have to have depreciated these over a few years, but now we can just write it off straight away. The new one, which is probably the most exciting development in the budget this year, is the tax loss write-back. Essentially, if you've made a tax loss in the 20 year, we may be able to roll that loss against a prior year profit. This may create a tax refund. Say that again. So we may get losses from the 20 year to push it against the 19 year to see what we could do about getting a refund for you. Another exciting initiative, point number four, is the job maker hiring incentive. If you are in the business of hiring new people, you may be able to get a subsidy from the government of $200 a week for people under the age of 30 and $100 a week between the ages of 30 and 35. There are some pre-existing conditions about this and some criteria to pass, but hiring new people in the new year may be government incentivised. As always, they're pushing through the apprenticeship programs again. This is point number five. If you're in the business of hiring apprentices in the manufacturing, construction, or any other sort of industry, there are apprenticeship programs. They're looking for 100,000 new apprentices over the next year. Manufacturing, there's now a state government pushed across all states in Australia on infrastructure building. This is no direct effect on any business around Australia, but it certainly is an incentive to understand that there's going to be new bridges, new trains, new everything going to be built across the nation, which is only going to support businesses. One of the more popular things from the federal budget is point number seven, R&D. There was a plan to roll back the R&D tax offset from 42 cents in the dollar back to 30 cents in the dollar. Well, it's remaining back at the higher rate, which is really good news for our development here in this country. Point number eight, first home buyers incentives, $10,000 for people who are building new homes, but they've just raised the threshold from a house value from $750 to $950. Point number nine, small business tax concessions, a very popular part of our tax legislations for businesses across Australia. They've moved the small business definition from 10 mil turnover to 50 mil turnover, which is a welcome received. And finally, everyone must know that the JobKeeper is being rolled back. It is finishing either at the end of September for JobKeeper 1.0, and JobKeeper 2.0 eligibility is getting tighter. This will end by March next year, so people must be getting prepared. If any of these points are something you would like to learn more, please feel free to reach out to Clyne Partners at clynepartners.com.au. Thank you for your time and have a great day.